Hi guys. Um, well, my video feed still looks like it's jumping around a little bit. Truly I don't really know what's wrong. I restarted my router last night just to make sure that it was as good as could be. I don't know, maybe Monday at 9:30 a.m. or 9:30 a.m. Maybe just a lot of people are trying to stream or do meetings, that kind of thing. Anyway, if I see a couple of people are still on, can you guys just give me a thumbs up if the video feed is doing okay on your end or if it's just bouncing around still, just so I can get an idea of where we are. I will still teach. You guys can kind of just be in your own head and maybe not necessarily have to look at the video. We'll yeah, not quite sure. All right, well, I'm not really seeing folks engaging and letting me know, so I'm just going to get started. I sure hope that the feed is better on your end than it is on my end. Again, my apologies. It's not my computer. I know that. I know that because I fleshed out all of the thoughts on it being my computer. But anyway, happy Monday, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started with our Hatha flow. So traditional posture to posture flow. We're going to spend just a little bit more time on the mat today. We've been focusing and doing a lot of work standing and spending a little bit more time on the balancing postures and on the standing up postures. And I thought we would just focus a little bit more on the ground. Again, feeling unsettled through all of this, trying to make the best of the moment is what I'm hoping that you're able to do as well. That's kind of where I'm living, trying to make the best of each moment. So let's take some time and get into our breath. You're going to stand at the top of your mat or face me, either one. Interlace your fingers, place them underneath your chin. As you exhale, let your elbows come together. With your inhale, elbows will rise out to the side. Nice, full, deep inhale. Keep your shoulders down. Gaze up to the ceiling. Open mouth, exhale. Hands will start to come together. Elbows coming together. Looking forward for your next inhale. Big inhale up. Full, deep breath. Gaze up. Open mouth, exhale. Trying to let the fullness of your breath happen. Deep, full inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Clearing out space, creating space within your lungs, within your chest cavity for new breath. Couple more, inhaling fully. Last one, deep inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Releasing your hands by your sides. Inhale, reach up, gaze toward your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, reaching your upper body down over your legs, maybe heel toeing your feet so they're hip width apart here. And just releasing your upper body down. Letting the weight of gravity take your spine and lengthen it, swaying side to side. Maybe some deep knee bends. Kind of check in with your body. How did it show up for you this morning? Take one more breath. Walking up to the top of your mat if you aren't already there. Take an inhale, half lift. Step your right leg back, drop your knee down. Stretching out your right hip flexor here. So hands can stay grounded or you can pop your hands up to your quadricep here, pushing your hips toward your front heel. Shoulders are relaxed and down. Noticing the length to your right hip flexor. Take an inhale, let your hands come back to the ground. On your exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot comes back to meet your left. Oh, sorry, opposite way. Left meets right. Your feet stay about hip width apart, hands about shoulder width apart, and then pedaling out your feet here, walking one heel toward the ground at a time. Letting your opposite hip kind of rock to the side, maybe swaying both hips side to side. Finding any extra movement that you'd like before coming into stillness for just a couple of breaths. Notice your rib cage knit in together, your lower belly lifting. Take one more full breath. On your inhale, come up onto your tiptoes, let your knees come to the ground, diving your chin to the ground as you inhale up into upward facing dog, lifting your knees, rolling the shoulders back and down, pushing the ground away. Take an inhale, downward facing dog on your exhale. Right foot steps up, left knee down, just an inhale. So we're gonna stay here actually. Apparently my brain is working kind of like the feed. So pressing your hips toward your front heel, relax your shoulders. Trying to lengthen out your left hip flexor. Stay for one more breath. Take an inhale and ground your hands on your exhale. Back foot meets your front foot for forward fold. Root to rise. Inhale, reaching up, gaze toward your thumbs. And exhale, forward fold, moving a little bit quicker here. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Step your left leg back, drop the knee down. Just an inhale. Exhale takes you to downward facing dog. Up on your toes, knees come down, dive your chin to the ground as you keep your bum high as you scoot forward into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, big step, right knee down, inhaling with a long spine. Exhale takes you to forward fold, back foot meets your front. Root to rise, inhale, reach up, gaze toward your thumbs, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Left leg steps back, drop your knee, just an inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. Up on your toes, knees come down, dive your chin to the ground. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Left foot forward, big step. Right knee down. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise. Inhale, gazing toward your thumbs. Again, exhale, forward fold. Last one here. Inhale, halfway lift. Right leg back, drop your knee down. Just an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take it up on your toes, knees come down, dive your chin to the ground. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Right foot forward, big step, left knee down. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, squeeze the breath out, forward fold. Root to rise. Inhale, reach up, gaze toward your thumbs. As you exhale, hands through heart center, bend your knees, Utkatasana chair pose. Lifting lower belly up, root your tailbone down toward your heels. On your next inhale, reach a little bit lower. Take your arms toward the sky, toward the ceiling, wherever you are. Lengthen your spine. Take an inhale and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank pose. We'll come through a flow here, coming into chaturanga. Nice long spine in your plank. As you come down into your chaturanga, elbows will tap back as much as they can. Push forward through your toes as you inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing. We're going to step into warrior one here. Left toes will slide out toward 11 o'clock. Right foot meets your right hand. Inhaling up. Set your warrior one with your exhale. Working to square your hips off here. Left hip crease coming forward as your right hip crease goes back. Root down through your back heel. Lifting your back knee as much as you can. Shoulders pulling into back pockets. Take an inhale, flow on your exhale, hands come down, step back into your plank pose, and come through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. The other side, right toes slide out to 1 o'clock, left foot comes up. Inhale up. Set your posture with your exhale, working to square your hips off, working to root down through your tailbone into your back leg. Strong with your reach. Take an inhale, flow on your exhale, hands come down, step back. Come through your plank pose, take a chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. 5 breaths, down dog. Trying to find some length to your spine. Allowing your heels to root toward the ground. Lifting and lengthening through your tailbone. Finishing your exhale, look forward, step or float feet to meet hands. Inhale, halfway lengthen, long spine. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, inhale up, chair pose. And exhale, Samastihiti, hands to heart center. We're gonna go ahead and move on and come into our balancing standing postures. So interlace your fingers, first fingers point up. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, let your hips come to the left, arms to the right, reaching long, coming into your crescent moon. Lengthening as much as you can. I sure apologize for this video feed. It feels like it's just not gonna happen today. Keep reaching nice and long. Take one more breath. Finish your exhale, inhale, come back to center, and come over to the other side on your exhale, hips to the right, arms to the left. Noticing the length of the body. Reaching long, feeling stretch to the right side body. Hips are square. Stay for one more breath. Finish your exhale. Release on your inhale. We're going backwards. I'll turn sideways. You're going to press your hips to your front side of your toes. Lift up through your heart center to take pressure off your low back as you gaze up, drawing a little line down the ceiling toward the back of the room. Keep lifting up so you're not compressing into your low back. Keep your breath happening here. It might feel short and shallow. Chin is lifting as much as you can commit to it. Stay for one more full breath. Lifting up on your inhale, soften your knees, melt over your legs, forward fold, release, shake it out. All right, from here you can keep your feet hip width apart. Lift your heels, slide your fingertips underneath your heels. I'll actually turn back the other way. Let your elbows wrap behind your calves as much as you can. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, hips come toward the ceiling as you tuck and curl in, forehead rounding toward your shins. Chin compressing toward your chest, creating space to the backside of your body, compressing through your core and your organs. Stay for one more exhale. Finish your exhale and release, lifting your toes up. Slide fingertips underneath your toes, maybe the full hand to your wrist crease, up to the length of your hamstrings, the length of your arms. Take an inhale, long spine. As you exhale, forward fold, elbows reaching out to the side. Lift your tailbone up and feel the length to the back of your legs. Shoulders reaching into your back pockets. One more breath. Finish your exhale. Slowly release, tucking your tailbone under as you roll it up. One vertebrae at a time, bringing your shoulders up toward your ears, rolling your shoulders up and back. Interlace your fingers behind, squeeze the palms together, tuck your tailbone under, lift up through your chest, gaze up. Feel the stretch across your chest. One more breath. Finish your exhale and slowly releasing your gaze, releasing your hands. All right, we'll take some balancing postures. Garudasana Eagle is first. Inhale, arms high. Right arm is going to cross underneath your left as you take your hands, working your palms toward each other. So now another version is to grab behind your shoulders, okay, if that would serve you better, or grabbing onto like a thumb and a pinky, okay, just trying to get your hands in line with your nose, elbows pressing toward your chest as much as you can. Take an inhale, sink down on your exhale. Let your right leg lift on top of your left. You're going to stack them one on top of the other, and then tap your foot. Or lift your foot, or wrap your foot behind, squeezing. So trying to stack your knees one on top of the other, trying to squeeze your elbows together, pressing your armpits down. Feel your core nice and engaged, lower belly lifting, gazing off past your hands. Stay for one more exhale. Finish your exhale, unwind as you inhale up, coming to the other side. Left comes underneath. I'm trying to mirror you guys. As you press your elbows toward your chest, armpits pressing down, hands pressing toward each other, take an inhale. Sink down on your exhale, let your left leg come up on top of the right, stacking your toe, lifting it up, or wrapping it behind, just whatever your body gives you. Trying to square your hips off, letting your knees come right in line with your belly button, pressing your armpits down. This is a great pose for lymphatic drainage, which helps with boost our immune system, trying to flush toxins out. Stay for one more exhale. Finish your exhale, slowly unwind, release, inhale, hands to heart center. Standing head to knee is next. Ground through your left leg, lifting your right leg up. Knee is in line with your hip. Feel your lower belly lifting as you root your tailbone toward your heels. Lengthen your spine, even the back of your neck. Stay in whatever layer serves you best. Maybe interlace your fingers, place them on top of your shin, lift up. Feel your core engaged, stacking your standing leg nice and strong. Maybe stay here or curl and round forward, slide your fingertips underneath your flexed foot. Push your foot into your hands as you start to lift your heart, pushing your right hip crease back as you lift your heart. Toes flexing toward your face. Strong here. Another layer is taking your elbows around the outsides of the shin as you curl and round in, forehead toward your shin or knee. Stay for one more breath. Finishing your exhale, working back through your layers. And release. Come to the other side, grounding with your right leg. Left leg will lift. I'll turn sideways, see if that gives you a different version, a different view. Again, the feed not being fantastic today. Interlace your fingers on top of your shin. Lift your heart. Let your left hip crease slide back into the hip socket here. Lower belly actively lifting. Stay for one more exhale. Maybe curl and round over your bent knee. Taking your fingertips underneath your flexed foot. Push your foot into your hand as you extend toward the front, letting your left hip crease slide back as your foot extends. Now you might not get all the way straight, completely fine to be here. Go where you can. Maybe wrapping your elbows around the outsides of the shin as you curl your belly, lift, rounding over your extended leg. Stay for one more exhale. And release, coming back through the layers. That didn't work so well for me on that side. That's all right. Standing bow is next. Left foot is forward. Take your right hand, reach it back. So thumb is back, palm is open, and your shoulder is open. Left arm is going to reach up. Lift your right foot, grab onto the top of the right foot. Take your knees together, feel balanced. Push your foot into your hand, lift your knee. As you lift your foot and lift your knee, that will hinge you forward at your left hip, reaching back. Left arm is reaching forward as your right foot is lifting behind you. All those energies working together. Keep your focus, focusing right in between your middle two fingers. Notice as you keep lifting your foot and you keep lifting your knee, you might find a little bit more space. Stay for one more exhale. Finish your exhale, lifting back up and release into the other side. Right foot is down, left arm is open. So I'm going to open it, palm facing me, thumb back, or palm facing away, excuse me. Lift your left foot, slide it in, right arm high. You're grabbing onto the inside of your left ankle. Push your foot into your hand, lift your knee. Feel and see, notice that you're hinging and reaching back and up. As you do that, that will hinge you forward in your right hip. Let the energies work together here. The more you lift up with your foot, the more you reach forward, balancing it out. I'm dangerously close to the wall and I'm noticing myself being tempted to reach it and use it. Keep lengthening, keep breathing. Stay for one more breath. Finish your exhale. Slowly release up and out. Wow. This is such an anaerobic workout, especially when you do it in a heated room, which is one thing that I just love. It feels so good, but it is truly a challenge. This series of postures, that's one reason why I love it. Challenges my mind as much as my body. Warrior 3 is next. Hands either on your hips. Hands might be open here, or steeple mudra hands, interlacing your fingers, first fingers point up. Up to you what you like. I'll stay here. Left leg forward, right leg back. On your exhale, hinge at your left hip, keeping your right hip down as much as you can. Reach back through your right inner thigh to feel nice and long through this posture as you're hinged over on your left hip. Keep lengthening even the back of your neck. Lift your lower belly. Rib cage is strong. Stay for one more exhale. Finish your exhale. Inhale, lifts back up. Change to the other side. Step forward with the right leg, left leg back. Internally rotate your left femur as you hinge at your right hip, tilting forward. Let your leg lift as much as you hinge forward. Keep your body in one straight line. Notice your core engaged. Lengthen your spine as much as you can. One more breath. Finish your exhale. Inhale lifts you up. And release. Fabulous. Grab blocks if you need them, guys. Need or have them. Your blocks can be here. You might use them in the postures. You're going to come and stand on the left side of your mat. Stepping out with your right foot, turn your toes in so your heels flare out to the side. I'm not going to have my blocks there just because I want you to be able to see my feet, okay? Toes in, heels out. Hands on your hips. Inhale, lift up. As you exhale, forward fold. Wide leg forward fold. Bringing your upper body down. Hands could be on a block. Hands could be reaching for the ground. From here, you can walk your hands back, pushing the mat forward as you bring your hips up and over, noticing a nice big lengthening to the back of your legs. Keep your spine nice and long, again, even to the back of your neck. Stay for one more breath. Finish your exhale, walk your hands out just halfway. Inhale with a half lift, and then we're gonna bind. So you're gonna take your first two fingers, slide them in between your big toe and your first toe. Make your bind nice and strong. Again, one more inhale, half lift. As you exhale, let your elbows come out to the side, reaching your upper body down. Let your shoulders slide into your back pockets, lifting through your tailbone, lengthening the back of the legs. Feel your spine long here. Try not to let this be just about straightening your legs. Let that be secondary. Feel a long spine first. One more exhale. Release your bind on your inhale with a half lift. Hands to hips, exhale. Inhale all the way up with a nice flat spine. Rotate your right toes so you have heel to arch alignment. We're going to go into triangle pose. Hands can stay on your hips or arms extended. Let your right hip dip down as your left hip lifts. Feel yourself lengthening. Strong front leg as much as you can. You'll extend your right hand toward a block or toward the floor or toward your shin, and then extend the left arm up. Notice length to your left side body as much as you can. Let your shoulders squeeze into your back pockets. Notice your spine long. Stay for one more exhale. And change, inhale up, rotate your feet, heel to arch alignment. Again, hands could stay here as you let your hips shift. Right hip dips down, left hip lifts, lengthen through your spine. And then rotate into your triangle pose. Feel your rib cage lifting, grounded through your back leg as much as your front. We're gonna, like I said, move through these just a little bit quicker so we can get to the ground. One more exhale. Inhale will lift you all the way up and change to your warrior two shape. Okay, I'm gonna take some liberties with the order here. So bending into warrior two, right leg is gonna bend, back leg is nice and strong, lower belly up and lifting, shoulders are down. Heel to arch alignment is where your feet rest. From here, let's rotate into side angle pose. So hand could come on the inner thigh as your opposite arm reaches long. Maybe elbow to the inside of the knee. Maybe extending that side angle and bringing the hand down. Notice my hips didn't move, just my upper body did. So if your hips are living up here currently, let's bring your upper body up to match that. See how the straight lines happen there? That's what we're shooting for. One more exhale, guys. Take an inhale back up to warrior two. Stay for your exhale. And change, rotate to the other side. Heel to arch alignment once again. As you bend into your front leg, extend through the back leg. Let your lower belly be active. On your next exhale, let's rotate into side angle. What version works best for you on this side? Intention is similar. So we're in side angle, whether we're here or here or here. Okay, you might need a little bit of a different version on one side to the next. Again, if your hips are living up here, let your upper body match that. One more exhale. Finish your exhale, come back to warrior two. On your inhale, stay for your exhale and change. This time we're going to go into rotated triangle. So you'll take your feet, right foot is straight, left toes are about 11 o'clock if your foot was on a clock. Keep a little bit of width to your feet so that you can square your hips off and not feel like you're on a balance beam and wobbly. Right hand can be on your right hip as you inhale, left arm high. Exhale, fold forward with a flat back, sliding your right hip crease back. Let your left hand come either to a block on the inside of your foot or the ground. Lengthen one more time through your spine. Square your hips off as you rotate. Right arm is going to lift, or you can keep your hand on your hip and just lengthen your spine, coming into a bit of a twist toward your right leg. You can also reach back with your right hand. Feel your sacrum. Feel if it's straight and square, or if your right hip is ahead of your left hip. Try to straighten that off. Sometimes lifting your upper body up will help that. Finish your exhale. Gaze back to the ground. Bring both arms straight over your head as you inhale all the way up with a straight spine, coming to the other side, rotating your feet. So this time your right toes are about 1 o'clock. Your feet are a little bit wide, like you're on a railroad track. We'll inhale right arm high. As you exhale, let your left hip crease slide back. Right hip crease should be coming forward. Take your right hand to the inside of your left. Again, reach back and see, feel that your left hip isn't significantly forward from your right. And then let your left elbow or shoulder or arm reach up and over, trying to stack your shoulders. Stay for one more breath. Finish your exhale. Release your gaze. Unwind. Both arms reach straight over your head as you inhale all the way up and change. We're going to do take a crescent pose. Right leg forward. Back toes are going to lift on your left foot, bending into your front leg. You could take a back knee on your back leg, or you could come up into crescent with a straight leg in the back. Right hand on your right hip, left arm high. Inhale, long spine. As you exhale, take your elbow to the outside of the knee and feel your right shoulder twist and lift on top of your left. Feel your lower belly actively lifting. Maybe take your right hand and press into your left hand for prayer twist. I'll show you what that looks like facing you here. Working your thumbs in line with your heart center. Stay for one more exhale. Finish your exhale, release your gaze, unwind the body. Inhale, arms high. And change to the other side, and I'm just gonna shift this way so that you can see me coming at you if you're looking. All right, bending into your crescent lunge on your left leg forward. Left hand on your left hip, right arm high, inhale. As you exhale, squeeze the breath out, left elbow to the outside of the left knee and feel your body twist. Keep active through your left knee lifting. Place left hand into right hand. Still feel your left hip, reaching back to try to keep your hips as square as possible. Stay for one more breath. Finish your exhale, release your gaze, unwind, come back into your crescent lunge, and coming back to the left side of your mat. My transition wasn't quite right because I was facing the wrong direction. All right, we're gonna pass some things up today. Hopefully I'm not passing up some of your favorites. Let's finish with tree pose just to kind of settle and bring us down. So your left foot is gonna be grounded. Your right foot will lift. Toes coming on the inside of your foot. Maybe the inside of the calf, maybe the inside of the thigh. Ashtanga version, heel to hip. Let your knee open. Feel free to take that posture as well. Find your breath. Feel your balance. Play with arms, play with shapes if you'd like. Play with your gaze. However you choose to play, try to focus on the grounding that you feel, the breath that's happening. Feel the energy rooted out of the earth, balanced in your body. One more breath. Finish your exhale, bring your hands back to heart center. If they left, knee forward to release. Come to the other side. Rooting through your leg, taking a similar shape on your foot, wherever you chose. Trying to find some stability here. My understanding that with tree pose, you can take a different shape to your arms, side to side. The legs stay the same, a little bit of a different intention. Same breath. Energy rooting and grounded. Stay for one more breath. Finish your exhale. Bring your gaze back forward. Hands come to heart center. And knees going to come forward to release. Find your way to a mid-class Shavasana. Allowing your body to just melt onto the ground here in whatever shape is comfortable. However you've arrived, bring your breath along. Let your exhales melt all the way to the back of your head, releasing your body into the shape. Surrendering in for a couple more breaths. Finishing your exhale, come into wind removing pose. Right leg is going to come up. You'll take your hands, interlace on top of your shin, and slide your right knee off to the side slightly toward your right armpit, left toes pointing up toward the ceiling. And if both hands doesn't quite serve you well, just to take your right hand on top of your shin, hugging your knee toward your armpit. And then center your knee up right into the midline, squeezing in nice and tight. Feel your breath, your belly press up against your thigh as you breathe. On your next inhale, curl and round up. Forehead's going to come toward your knee. Shoulders are staying nice and relaxed. Left toes are still flexing up toward the ceiling. Finish your exhale, let your hands come to the ground. Head and chest stay lifted if possible. Let your leg float up toward the ceiling, slowly lowering all the way down. Keeping your core engaged, belly button pulling in, and release your head once your leg comes down. Left leg comes up and off to the side, trying to tuck your left knee toward your armpit. Right toes pointing up. Lengthen the back of your neck. Finish your exhale, center up your knee, interlace your fingers, pulling your knee in toward your chest, right into the midline. Again, noticing your belly press up against your thigh, possibly, if you're squished in far enough to make that happen. On your next inhale, curling and rounding up, forehead coming toward your knees, shoulder and chest are relaxed, using just the strength of the core. Stay for one more exhale. Hands will release down, leg goes up, flexing toes to your face, slowly lower all the way down. And release your head back down. Take both knees, hug them off to the side, trying to tuck your knees toward both armpits, lengthen again the back of your neck. Notice your spine long here. Finish your exhale, let your knees come together, interlace your fingers or grab onto opposite elbows and really curl in. So try to hug the knees in toward your chest. Notice your belly press up against your thighs with your inhale. Finish your exhale. On your next inhale, curl and round up. Again, shoulders relaxed, forehead working toward your knees. Lots of compression there. Finish your exhale, hands come down. Head stays up if that serves your body. Shoulders relax, legs go straight up, flexing toes to your face. Slowly lower all the way down with control. And release. Arms will reach over your head as you inhale. Nice long reach. With your exhale, reach to the ceiling, sit straight up, and then forward fold on your second exhale. So what that looks like in real time is inhale. Hopefully you could hear that exhale. All right, so you're gonna turn over, lay onto your stomach with your hands underneath your shoulders. Inner thighs are squeezed together, tops of your feet and touching the ground. Forehead down. Inhale long through your spine. As you exhale, lift your head and your heart center. Keep lifting your lower belly as well, using the strength of the backside of your body. So if you push your lower belly into the ground, you might lift up a little bit more, but you might also send all of the work into just your glute max. And we want the small muscles, the stabilizing muscles to be working here. So keep lifting, hugging your lower belly up and lengthening your spine to feel strength into your low back. Keep your inner thighs working toward each other. Stay for one more exhale. Releasing your hands, release your upper body. Right ear to the ground, arms reach by your side, shake your hips out. All right, you'll take your palms, turn them down toward the ground, slide your arms away from your body about 45 degrees. Forehead is going to go back on the ground. Take an inhale with a long spine, and as you exhale, reach through your fingertips, reach through your toes, and lift arms, legs, head, and chest. Keep working your inner thighs toward each other. Again, if I let my glutes work, then I do this. And that's just kind of compressing, in my opinion, into your low back. And we're using muscles that we aren't necessarily hoping to use just for the sake of getting bigger and higher. So keep your inner thighs working toward each other. Keep lifting nice and long as you lift up. One more exhale. And slowly release, changing the opposite ear, left ear to the ground. Feel free to shake your hips side to side. All right, one more. We're going to take floor bow. So bend your knees, grab onto the tops of the feet from the outside, forehead down. Press your foot into your hands as you lift your feet, lift your knees, let your upper body lift as well. So again, here would be an opportunity to push down with my lower belly to lift higher. I also think that this one is one just to push and lift with the strength of the body rather than getting higher by resisting and using other parts of my body just to get higher, okay? Again, could be just my opinion. One more exhale. And slowly release, this time stacking your hands one on top of the other, forehead down, shaking your hips side to side, or take a little windshield wiper with your feet. Extend your legs down your mat, tuck your toes under, hands are going to slide underneath your shoulders. Take an inhale, push up through plank on your exhale, and then send it all the way to down dog. Bring your knees all the way up to meet your thumbs for reclining hero. So knees are going to be together, heels are going to open out wide. I like to use hands to roll my calves out of the way to sink hips down in between the heels. So from the front side, knees together, heels open. You could put a block underneath your bum in between your heels to try to work your hips down in between your heels here. Now it's quite important that your knees are together. Okay, so if your knees are spreading out like this, get a block, get something to sit on, try to work your knees toward each other before you get too low, okay, for the safety of your knees. So from here, you might start to evaluate coming back. Now I'll turn again. All these angles here. So coming back onto elbows maybe. And from when I get to this shape, I like to lift the hips up, root the tailbone down toward the knees. So rooting your tailbone down toward your knees will try to straighten out your spine. Now, some people take this pose and come into like a version of fish. Okay, completely fine. If that's the shape that you want to do, then you would want to keep your tailbone down rather than tucking it under. If you're coming all the way down, laying down, reaching arms over your head, you are going to try to work to get your tailbone rooting down so that your pelvis is as straight as possible rather than anteriorly rotated. That's a big word, and I hope that makes sense to you guys. All right, taking 1 or 2 more breaths here. Releasing when you're ready. This is admittedly a very tough posture, I think. So going slow, being kind to yourself in that is very important. Lift yourself up, shake your legs out. I like to come through a downward facing dog after that. When your legs feel like there's some function there, bring your knees back to the ground, lift up nice and tall for camel. So hands are going to be either on your hips, fingertips into your back pockets maybe. Lift up through your heart center as you press your hips forward. Lift up through your chest and your chin. Keep lengthening the front of the body as you evaluate your back bend. Maybe reaching and grabbing onto the insides of your ankles, your heels, making a bind there. 1 more breath. Finish your exhale. Inhale, lift you all the way up, coming into a narrow stance, child's pose. Reach back for your heels. Let your spine round around your knees or your legs. We'll take rabbit here. So with your hands, you'll grab onto your heels, take a nice bind. On your exhale, lift your hips up toward the ceiling, tuck your forehead toward your knees, pressing your chin to your chest, really compressing in, okay? We're trying to round and compress your thyroid here. One more breath. Finish your exhale and slowly release. So last week, if you joined me, we passed up pigeon. We're not going to pass it up this week. So come into your downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high. Let your hips stack on top of your left, flexing your heel toward your bum. Finish your exhale. Straighten your legs. Square your hips back off. Look forward to your hands. Your foot will slide toward your left wrist. Your knee will slide toward your right wrist. Using your back foot, sinking your way down. Take an inhale, lift through your heart. And as you exhale, use your back toes to lengthen your spine as you fold forward, trying to come down wherever it works and serves your body today. Letting your shoulders go, letting your face go. Keep flexion to your right foot, trying to work your left hip toward the mat as much as you can. The front side of your left hip. So trying not to let it be pointing out, but rather flashlight down here. Stay for 1 more exhale. And release, inhaling, lifting up onto your fingertips, lifting your heart center. As you exhale, come through downward facing dog, shake your legs out. Left leg when you're ready. Inhale, left leg high, stack your hip, flexing your heel toward your bum. Straighten your legs, square your hips back off, send your foot toward your right wrist, your knee toward your left. Using your back toes, sinking down. Take an inhale, lift your head and heart. As you exhale again, I like to use back toes to lengthen forward, coming down into your folded pyramid. Pigeon. Again, Monday brain showing up for you. Still maintaining some flexion to your left foot. Keep it flexed, your toes hugging in toward the midline. One more exhale. Let your inhale lift you up onto your fingertips or your hands. And exhale through down dog, shake the leg out. When you're ready, you'll come all the way through to a seated position. Bring your feet, jump them through your hands. I'm going to face you though. And staff pose. So hands right by your sides. Legs are straight. Actually, let's go from the side version. It's always hard to know what's best to show. So sits bones are grounded. Make sure all of your love, the real estate, whatever you have is releasing so your sits bones are as grounded as possible. And then we're going to pull the lower belly in to lengthen and strengthen your spine here. So this is staff pose. It's an underwhelming posture, but so beneficial for the body. We're really trying to build strength to your stabilizing muscles here. This is a hard shape for a lot of people, okay? If you're one of those lot of people, try to sit with this every day if you can. You can put your feet up against a wall and just try to get nice and tall so that your low back isn't holding on while you're in this shape. All right, inhale, arms high. As you exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Notice my lower belly is reaching down my thighs rather than tucking under and rounding forward, okay? So bend your knees as much as you need to let yourself roll forward and reach long down your legs. Once you're down where you feel like your body is giving you as much as it's going to, let the back of your head go. So curl in. One more breath. Finish your exhale, slowly release. We're going to take right leg over left, crossing it over your leg. Now, if you want to keep your left leg straight, completely fine. You can tuck your left heel toward your bum if you'd like to take that version as well. Right fingertips face away from your bum. Inhale, left arm high. As you exhale, take a twist, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. You're going to let your inhale lift and lengthen your spine. As your exhale, you'll twist over, looking over your right shoulder. I like to take this hand, my left hand, and reach it toward the extent or toward your left knee. And then it just helps to give a little bit more bind to the twist. So I'm kind of wringing out my waist just a little deeper because I have this extra bind. Now, if you like to take the in between, reach your hand in between and make that full bind, feel free to take that version. One more exhale. Finish your exhale, release your gaze back forward, undo the hands, and come to the other side. So making the shape look similar. So if you kept an extended leg, do the same. Otherwise, tuck the heel under. Left fingertips facing away. Inhale, right arm high. Exhale, elbow to the outside of the knee. Lift up as you twist. Looking over your left shoulder. Feel your lower belly kind of lifting as you exhale deeper into the twist. Again, taking whatever version you did on the other side. So I kind of ended by showing you the bind where you reach in between. here, and then grab on. One more exhale. Finish your exhale, release your gaze forward, undo the body. Shake your legs out. We're gonna come through fish pose to come down to the ground, so slide your fingertips underneath your bum. On your exhale, let your elbows come to the ground. Your hips will rock forward as you lift your chest. Gaze up and look back. Keep pushing your elbows into the ground as you lift through your heart, opening through the neck. Notice the stretch to the front side of the shoulders, opening the front side of your neck, opening through your chest. Breathe into it, bringing some shape to your neck as well. Stay for one more breath. Continue looking back as you start to wiggle your hips back. The top of your head will touch the ground. And then release your hands underneath you, letting your chin come to your chest. Taking a couple of liberties here. Usually we would go into like a hip bridge and plow and shoulder stand. We're not going to take those this time. So if you'd like to find any extra shape before Shavasana, feel free. Coming into maybe a happy baby. Maybe you know plow and shoulder stand and you'd like to take that on your own, by all means. Those postures are pretty big in my opinion, and I like to just see bodies doing it rather than cueing to a screen. There's just a good amount of potential, I feel, in your neck, exposing your neck in ways that I don't want to hurt anybody, so I'm going to choose to pass that one up. When you feel ready, again, you could also take full wheel. That's another version here. When you feel ready to find your Shavasana, it is ready for you. And hopefully, if you stayed with me all the way through, hopefully you were able to stay into your body and out of your mind just a little bit. Allowing this flow, this series of postures that we do is really intended for us to be able to stop our thought process and just tune into what our body is doing. And by tuning in, we become aware of our body. We become aware of how it's showing up for us, allowing us just to notice and sit with different shapes, different postures in our body. Hopefully stopping and slowing some of the mental gymnastics that we play all day long of what we need to do next, but rather just being able to sit in a posture, experience and feel it. Again, I do apologize if the video feed looked on your end like it looked on my end. My love for teaching yoga has very little to do with being in front of a screen and in front of a camera, so thanks for sticking with me, guys. I am going to leave you to your Shavasana, allowing your body, your mind to have some quiet. If the quiet feels like it is hard to come by, come back to your breath. Pay attention to your breath. Stay focused on it. Let your body and your brain melt into the ground. Stay for as long as you can. Be sure to come back to our page so that you can do some more movement. I think Marcy's up later, actually. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Have a lovely Monday. Namaste.